Good morning, fellow option traders. This is Jeff, and welcome to the Daily Scan for Wednesday, October 22nd, 2014. Yesterday we had a one-start announcement, existing home sales, which was an okay number. I think it showed a slight increase in sales, but the median price is really not going anywhere. Or it might actually have taken a bit of a move down, and definitely in some areas of the country, like the area that I live in, more commonly. I think I'm in the Midwest in Ohio. Is Ohio the Midwest? I guess west is west of the... I don't know anymore. I don't know. But I think Ohio's in the Midwest. It's definitely not east. Is there a Mideast? If there was a Mideast, Ohio would probably be in it. But anyway, I'm going a little wacko this morning. Consumer Price Index today in EIA Petroleum Status Report. CPI is probably the bigger of any of the announcements this week, because everybody can pretty much tell you what jobless claims is going to be, and that's going to be an improvement. And if you watch me regularly, you know why I think it's going to show an improvement. Just because of the way that they put the number together, which is based on people that are looking for jobs that can't find one. They are counted as unemployed. Those who are not working or gave up looking for a job aren't counted as unemployed. They're counted as just being out of the workforce. Anyway, that makes sense, doesn't it? So how can we make this number look good? Well, if we only count those people that we call up on the telephone, by the way, and say, are you employed? No. Are you looking for a job? Yes. Okay, you're unemployed then. If you're not looking for a job, are you looking for a job? No. Then you're not unemployed. I love it. Okay, let's go here and take a look at what's going on over in Asia. Pretty much positive over there, and they're about done with their day. And in Europe, we're at lunchtime. Everybody's headed out to the pub right about now, at least in England anyway. And they're mixed and pretty weak either direction. No direction today, I guess you could say, in Europe. So we can jump over here and take a look at the futures here in the U.S. and let's bring up the Big Four charts. Okay, we're looking a little slightly down this morning, although the Russell 2000 is up. And the VIX futures are creeped up a little bit. Gold down $5.20 overnight, and oil is up 2 cents. But if we look at it with a chart, here we can see the S&P futures trickling down a little bit, but not very much. Gold, definitely a move down here in gold, probably going to continue. Oil, choppy, and VIX bottomed out yesterday, and it's pretty much holding its own right there at $17.13, or $17.13. I don't know if that's in dollars or not. I think that's just a number, if you know what I mean. All right. Our count, we got nothing going on. It's earnings season. There's a lot of stocks that we are taking passes on. Yesterday we had, we were going to be watching Visa and NDX. And if you were conscious yesterday, you know that there is no way that we were going to be getting into those with the way that the market moved yesterday. But we'll take a look at them as we go through the A-plus list. And, you know, with the earnings, there's not a lot of prospects. And with this big surge, you know, they say buy in the dips. Just about everybody says that. It's sort of a sensible thing to do. You can buy on the way up if you get in early. But who knows, you know, when it makes its move up, is it going to continue or not? You just really don't know. but I'm just babbling here, right? So let's take a look at where we are here. We'll start out with Apple. Apple, after their earnings, big gap up, so now we have a target set for down here to get in on that. It's not quite at its high, which is 103.74, but it's pretty darn close to it. So I would say if it breaks out of here, then it's in for a run. But we're hoping that it'll come down and touch our target before that happens. Amazon, we're waiting for a move here. They had a target set here, but I'm not sure if I'm changing my sentiment or not. But regardless, we have earnings coming up, so I'm taking this target off of here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to remove all drawings, and we're just going to sit back and watch what happens on Amazon. Take a look at Boeing. Boeing looks like it's definitely could be in a new trend here on the intraday. Earnings on today. Yeah. Before the market opens. So that should be fun to watch that one today. We'll see how that goes. Baidu. Here's all this leftover garbage popping up back here. Yeah, I think we might be looking at a trend change on Baidu, but we got earnings coming up, so we're going to take all these drawings out of here. And we'll see if we can keep them away or not. Chipotle, they have earnings? Yes, they did. They had earnings. Pretty darn good earnings. And they took a pretty darn big hit here, too. 606 from 651, that's a $50 hit. So would you have bought a put yesterday? I mean, well, the premium would have been pretty high yesterday, but it wouldn't have mattered if you were buying. It wouldn't have mattered if you were doing a 50 delta, because a 50 delta up here, say if you bought at 650, a put, and it moved to 609, it's probably pretty close to 100 delta. Let's take a look at a 650 right now. So why am I only showing 4 here? I like to show 24. Alright, so a 650 put. That's not even showing up here. Come on. Let's do all. 650 put. Alright. 650 put. Come on. Layout. There we go. Implied volatility 105. Wow. 650 put. Delta. Oh, it's only at 72. I was figuring it would be 100, or pretty close to it. You have to go pretty deep. Oh, and none of them. Really? Look at this. This is really amazing. Nobody's had 100. Oh, there we go. Now we got to have to go all the way down to 905 before you find it 100. So this is telling us that the price of the 910 put strike moves dollar for dollar with the stock. So, yeah, if you would have bought one of these, kind of expensive, would have cost what, $30,000, maybe $20,000 to buy one of these yesterday, and or the day before yesterday. And it might be worth, how much did it die? About 40. So you would have made $4,000 on it. That would have been pretty sweet. That would have been a lot to risk, though. Very much a lot to risk. Anyway, this is really getting crazy here, so let's go back to 24. We'll just settle down and stop speculating or dreaming or whatever it is that we're trying to do here, and let's move on to Costco. So now, which way is it going? Well, we don't know, as it might continue its downtrend. All right, Costco. Man, we got all this clutter back here again. I just don't understand this. We are looking for a way to get into Costco. They've already had their earnings. We're still looking at a 20 delta here. It's pretty flat. You could probably play this sort of like an iron condor. But the last 2 days it's been making some really pretty nice moves. I think we're going to pass on this one right now, just because this is so flat. There's no direction here. So we're taking all the drawings out. We're going to start from scratch, watching Costco. Take a look at DJX. See, now this old line is here. This, remember yesterday I moved this down to here? Now how did this one ever end up here? This is insane what these chart drawings are doing. Alright, see if it's going to come up here and touch this and what it's going to do when it gets there. Gold, moving its way up, might be able to get into our covered call or sell a call against our 100 shares, but we need to get way up there. I mean, we're talking like, you know, $1.28 or so. So 128 would be what we were looking for. Maybe it'll get there, maybe it won't. Google. And we got a lot of old stuff showing up here on Google. I'm pretty sure that we are in a downtrend on Google. I'm going to remove all drawings, and we're going to call this not quite a setup. But you know what? Oops. This is looking good enough for me, so I'm going to call this a setup. So I wrote it down. It's just nice to have something that is beyond earnings and has a trend, that it's not flipping on its trend. All right, next up, LinkedIn. The cursed LinkedIn. Stock really frustrates me. All right, so what do we got going here? We got a lot of garbage drawings showing up on here. We have earnings coming up. We are definitely in a downtrend. We have a little bit of a violation here. I'm a little bit concerned about here on intraday. I don't have a problem with this in an uptrend here and in a downtrend here, but it's been showing some strength along here. And it was very confused back here too, so I don't know. But earnings are next week. I'm not going to do anything on LinkedIn right now. But if you think that you might want to do something, I would wait until price gets below this low. And I might just throw an alert on here just for fun and see if it does anything like that today. And we'll move it up. You know, this is not recording this as a trade or anything like that. I wouldn't do it, I don't think. So we'll just see what happens here. If I would do anything, it would have an expiration of next week, because that's actually on 10/30, which I believe is Thursday. Must be Thursday. Let's see here. 10, 27, 28, 29, 30. Yeah. NDX. So that expiration would be actually 11/1, I think, for that one. NDX definitely in a downtrend. Definitely we're looking at a potential here for a 20 delta. So I throw that on there. And we'll write it down. This would be the third day in a row. I'm going to throw an alert on here. This is not an alertable, this is just an alert. Now where should I put it? I'm going to put it about in the middle of this candle right here. Just to remind me to take a look at it if nothing else. Alright, Netflix. Netflix, yes. It looks like we might be, well, this is weird over here. Not, for this whole moving average, this is really, it's still trying to catch up with this gap here, is what's happening. What are we looking at here? I'm not sure exactly where Netflix might be going here. I'm going to throw this up there. Just an alert. Looking for a bear call on this below yesterday's low. I'm not going to write it down as a prospect for today. It's just if this alert goes off, I'm going to be interested in maybe taking a look at this. Price line. All these old drawings are popping up here again too. Come on, Thinkorswim, what are you guys doing to me here? We have earnings way out here. Finally, we got confirmation on the earnings. And I might do a 20 delta on this, so I'm going to put a target up here, and we're going to say that it's ripe if it makes its move today. And we'll put this one down as 20 delta, and I'm saying 20 delta because of this little piece of red right in here. I guess you could call that a violation. I might do a 20 and a 50. Wouldn't that be fun? A 20 with an expiration of 11-1 and or NOV1 would be the expiration for the 20 delta, and a 50 delta. If we get the entry here, 50 delta, it has to move below here. But we're definitely going to write it down for a 20 delta and a 50 delta if we get that move. Alright. A couple days ago we had price line in the 20 or 50 delta setup on this day, and then we got the violation, so we took it off the list, and now it's sort of back on. It's let's ignore this. Or like Thinkorswim actually allows you to correct a candle. I think if you go right here, correct this bar. So I say, well, I want to go in here and correct this. I don't think it'll allow me to do that, will it? No, I can't use my... Okay. Alright, I digress. Let's get moving here. RUT. I got price line down for a 20 delta. RUT. Kind of the same thing. I'm going to put them down for a 20 delta if we get a move here. Let's throw an alert down on here just to remind me to take a look at it, and we're looking at a 20 delta for the Russell. Now it's going to have to make a big move. It's going to have to give us a red on both of these, because it looks like as though the trend is reversing. And remember I said that my sentiment has turned bullish. Here we have pretty much the same thing on SPX, and now we're saying on SPX that I'm looking for something down here, but you know what, if it moves down, well, I don't know. Well, I should alert it too, but I'm not going to call it a trade. But I'm going to see if it moves below the low from yesterday and the low from yesterday. I don't know what the low from yesterday was. 1909. Because it shows up right here, 1909. All right, we have Tesla. A bunch of junk showed up on Tesla. Okay, I redrew this. This is looking very good, actually, as a 50 delta. So I'm putting it down. So I had a 20 delta on them a couple days ago, and it flipped up instead of down. Now it looks like as though it might be ripe for a 50 delta. And last but not least is Visa. We had them down 2 days ago as a 20 delta, and now we're re-looking at this as a 50 delta, and I need to move this up here to below the low from yesterday. And there we go. And I need to get rid of all these hokey drawings on here. We have earnings coming up. Oh, only a 50 delta. That's the only thing we can do on it, which would be an expiration of this Friday. We don't want to do anything with an expiration next week. And another reason, with earnings coming up on these, another thing to keep in mind, and we all know how this works, as IV increases, it takes you burn up more time before you become profitable on your spread. Just a reminder. So keep that in mind if you're doing anything prior to earnings, that it better be a big move in your direction. Otherwise, you're going to have to wait a very long time to get that data to start working for you. All right, that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day and happy trading.